Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Jay sent me a note about a former state trooper in Tennessee, got himself in a bit of trouble. And it's kind of interesting because the accusations here, I've never heard these specific accusations made against a trooper who then got fired for them. But actually the guy quit before they could fire him, but we'll get there. Former state trooper loses license over ghost and false traffic stops. The former Tennessee trooper also admitted to texting and being on social media while driving. Social media, probably playing Farmville or Candy Crush or Facebooking, who knows. By Jeremy Finley of WSMV, the story is, here's the problem. The man resigned from the Tennessee Highway Patrol in April. Instead of waiting to be fired, because it looked like that was pretty apparent. So now he's appeared before the Tennessee Peace Officers Standards and Training Commission to fight his former agency's effort to take away his license to be a police officer in that state. Among the violations he's accused of, they say that he made ghost stops where he ran the license plate of a vehicle to make it appear he was making a traffic stop when in fact he never stopped the driver. So apparently, to make himself look busy, he runs some license plates. So if anybody checks to see what he's doing, oh, you ran this plate, you ran that plate, he's clearly doing something. No. He's on social media. When asked about it repeatedly during the hearing, he could not recall a specific time that he had done that, but he said he believed that he had actually done that. The quote is, "I can't think of a certain time that I have, but I'm sure I have." What he does remember, though, and he admits to this, is making false traffic stops, including 2 times, not 1, 2 times, in which he did it as part of a marriage proposal. This is one of the dumbest things I've heard about in the media in the last couple of years. People who go talk to a police officer and go, "Hey, can you pull me over while my girlfriend's in the car and then I can ask her to marry me?" And I've seen that. I've actually seen that on YouTube. And to me, it's like the dumbest thing ever. Besides, the police do have better things to do with their time. But recall, there was also the one where the guy wanted to ask his girlfriend to the prom. So he asked a police officer to chase him through a parking lot in a vehicle. And an accident happened. A crash occurred. And they're like, "Oh, well, it was just part of a stunt. I wanted to ask my girlfriend to the prom." And it's like, okay, again, fun and games until somebody gets hurt. But this is just a waste of resources here. He said that he does remember twice helping people with a marriage proposal by putting on a fake traffic stop. According to his personnel file, he admitted he had made previous traffic stops on his buddies with no intention of enforcement simply because it was funny to him. Now, you know me, I like to laugh. And I've got friends, we've got inside jokes, and we occasionally, goof around with each other. This guy's pulling his friends over in traffic because it was funny to him. Members of the commission asked him why he found those stops to be humorous. To which he said, "I can't exactly tell you why I feel that it's funny, but in general, it was." So he stands by his sense of comedy. And I will admit, it's difficult to explain comedy to some people. Some people will actually watch something that everybody finds hilarious and go, "I don't get it." Well, can you explain it to me? Probably not. No. But the fact that he's out pulling over his friends because he finds it funny and now can't explain why it's funny, but then he goes, "But it was." Okay. To you, perhaps. He defended his actions repeatedly, saying one of the times he stopped a friend was for failure to wear a seatbelt. So he said, well, the guy was not wearing a seatbelt, but he didn't write the guy a ticket. So what, he gave the guy a warning? Or was this one funny also? "I don't feel like anything I've done is ethically wrong, morally wrong, or illegal," he said. But a sergeant who's an investigator for the State Department of Safety and Homeland Security told commissioners that they've found other violations as well with this now former officer. There were 4 times he was on social media or texting while driving in September. 5 more times where he was speeding and hit the 90-mile-per-hour mark when he was not running emergency traffic. So he's out zipping around in his car because who indeed will police the police? Commissioners asked the man, the former officer, former trooper, if he felt he'd done anything illegal. No, sir, I don't. I don't feel like I did anything illegal, he said. Is it illegal to go 90 miles an hour in the city limits of Franklin? The commissioner asked him. To which his response was, I have to. I have to withdraw that statement because that is definitely illegal, and I agree with you. I wonder if this guy was represented at this hearing. Is it illegal to be texting on your phone while driving? He was also asked, to which he responded, yes, ma'am, it is. So he admitted that, yeah, those things are wrong. The commission was also told how after arresting someone for DUI, this man failed to respond to 5 subpoenas to appear in court, and as a result, the DUI case was dismissed. Now, there's a lot to unpack there. Among other things, when he writes someone up for DUI and they get arrested and all that stuff, he knows he's got to go to court to testify unless the person rolls over, which they almost never do on those. That's something you hire an attorney for, right? So if he doesn't show up after 5 subpoenas have been issued, then the case will get dismissed. Now, I've had people say, and I've done videos on this, that if a police officer does not show up at your hearing, do you automatically win? And the answer to that is probably not. In most courts, if there's a reason the police officer is not there, they'll often adjourn it for them or postpone it, and the same way they would for you if you asked for an extension, right? But 5 subpoenas implies that the first time he didn't show up. Oh, okay. Let's reset it and send a second subpoena. Oh, he didn't show up for that one? Let's reset it and send a third subpoena, a fourth subpoena, a fifth subpoena. So not only is he ignoring court orders because subpoenas are court orders, next time you get a subpoena, read it. Trust me, it'll say right on it, you are hereby ordered to appear here. At the bottom will be a signature of somebody signing it with official authority to drag you to court, and it's the equivalent of a court order. So you get served with a subpoena and you ignore it, you are ignoring an order from the court. This guy ignored 5 of them on one case. Makes you wonder if it was a friend of his, or maybe it was a marriage proposal, who knows? One of the commissioners then told the man that his integrity as a law enforcement officer had been severely damaged. Oh? The commission voted unanimously to decertify the man. So here's the only thing I don't know. And I've talked about how it is in many states where a police officer who gets in trouble will very quickly resign. Just say, I no longer want to work here. And once they're resigned, they often don't bother disciplining them because they're gone. They don't work here, they don't work here anymore. And so what often happens is you hear about somebody who gets, let go over here, or they quit before they can get let go. They pop up over here. They get in trouble here, they pop up over here, and it's like whack-a-mole. The cops jumping from force to force, and if you check their record, the records are clean because they've never stuck around for the bad news to get put in their personnel file because they're gone. And here, the state agency that licenses law enforcement officers has said, no, we're going to decertify this guy. I don't know if that means that he can't work anywhere in the state of Tennessee as a law enforcement officer, or simply he can't work as a state trooper for the state. That I don't know the answer to. Now, somebody can fill that in below, but it's interesting because most of these stories do end with the officer who's getting in trouble quitting, resigning, and then popping up elsewhere. And so I've spoken to police officers before about that general concept, and most of them go, yeah, it's a problem, and it's something that happens here. But there are other industries where that happens also. I've seen it before where somebody is in a profession and they get in trouble someplace, and then they quit before they can have the trouble followed through. And a lot of employers are going to go, well, they left, solves our problem. And if a future potential employer calls them up and says, hey, any disciplinary record over there, they go, no, because there isn't any. Because before they could create one, the person left. So this one's, I admit, these are not the crimes of the century. I have seen and heard of police officers doing much worse. So have you. But here we have a situation where he's faking traffic stops, clearly to make himself look busy. He's texting and playing on social media with his phone while driving. He's pulling people over because he thinks it's funny. They're friends of his. He's also helping people with marriage proposals by putting on fake traffic stops. And somebody finally said, hey, that's enough. We pay you to do a job. You don't appear to be doing your job. So the guy's gone now from the Tennessee State Police. But the question is, will he pop up somewhere else? I don't know. So Jay, thanks for sending that from WSMV out of Tennessee. You'd think that I'd know this is here by now. Former state trooper loses license over ghost and false traffic stops. He was doing things like texting and surfing social media, and he admitted that while driving. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. The website you seek cannot be located, but endless others exist.